West Bloomington is known as a food desert because many people in the community lack access to affordable fresh vegetables. Sunnyside Community Garden and Food Forest, located at the west end of Illinois Street in Bloomington, was established May 2016 by Cole Connolly and Jan Turner to help combat this lack of access. The mission of Sunnyside Community Garden and Food Forest is to provide fresh organic produce to low-income families in West Bloomington and to facilitate learning opportunities for children and adults through gardening, harvesting, and marketing food grown on the site using sustainable practices. More than 1,000 pounds of fruit and vegetables are grown each year. Sunnyside aims to be an oasis, a place for insect, plant, and people to come together to serve the community of West Bloomington. The early mornings, sweat-drenched shirts, and muddy boots grow the sweetest raspberries, the juiciest tomatoes, and the most tender of lettuces.
My name is Jan Turner. Cole Connolly, who is my child, had an idea. They were working on a project, a high school project, for a business plan. And Cole was also concerned about poverty and hunger issues. Cole wanted to start it at a nonprofit community garden. We started looking around for some land, and a friend of mine said, well, out here near Sunnyside, there's some land that hasn't been used for 40 years. Why don't you take a look at that? And we did. And then with about 40 volunteers and a semi-load full of compost, we established the 10 beds on the east side and planted raspberries, both red and black. And that was our beginning. We hired Caleb Phillips as the farm manager, and he has increased the production and added the youth apprentices.
My name is Dr. Caleb Phillips. I'm the farm manager and I'm the acting president here at Sunnyside Community Garden. And so I deal with all of the finances, I deal with the day-to-day harvest and planting and all that kind of stuff.
My name's Martin Ross. Basically, I got introduced to Sunnyside back a couple of years ago when I was in charge of a campaign feeding the cities.
I was able to bring in 2 14-year-old apprentices and build a relationship with them. The goal is that they will be hired on every summer until whatever they go into after high school. And so for me, a lot of it is about, if we really want to make a difference in this community, we need to put down deep roots, we need to build relationships, and we need to allow that to take some time to work itself out.
So I love growing things from seed and watching them grow. But here, what I have found most enjoyable is making the connections. And first we started out with the Boys and Girls Club with their the summer program. And then the connections we made with Home Sweet Home and Beacon of Hope, and being able to provide food for them.
So if you want to be able to support the mission at Sunnyside, understand that we work with a couple of different nonprofits. And so the Home Sweet Home Bread for Life Co-op is a really great place to get started, whether you volunteer there or you volunteer here, to be able to help them. You can certainly donate and give. You can become a weekly volunteer who can join one of our volunteer teams. We have a group that meets on Tuesday mornings, one that meets on Thursday night, one that meets on Sunday night. And they're just people from the community who are just average people who are getting trained in how to do small-scale farming, sort of large-scale gardens, to be able to help out with chores, to be able to help out a little bit as well. And so we have people who give time, we have people who give of their talents, we have people who give of their treasures. And all of it really goes a long way to helping us fulfill our mission.
My name is Samantha Williams. I am the coordinator here at the Bread for Life Co-op. I've been here, a part of the co-op, for about 5 years, maybe 4, something like that. It's been an adventure for sure. I've met a lot of people and their families, seen quite a few things, seen a lot of great relationships built. I know what we do here is mostly just helping with filling the need of food insecurity, but the community that is built inside the walls is impeccable. These people have just conjoined their families with other people and just become best friends, and it's just amazing to see. The price of fresh food alone has skyrocketed from what I'm used to, so it is amazing having a partnership with Sunnyside. Without them, goodness, I don't know. Being able to provide people with fresh grown, homegrown, in-town items has been amazing. People love it. A lot of our people have heart conditions, diabetes, a lot of different medical ailments, and they need to be able to have access to these fresher items, these healthier items, and sometimes their budgets don't allow for it. So them being able to come here and receive these groceries has, for lack of better words, from what they say, have saved them.
Basically, having an asset like Sunnyside right next to the Sunnyside homes is critical to improving that nutrition, helping education. It helps students to have the right vitamins and minerals and proteins to be able to focus, to be able to learn.
I'm always amazed when people have that first cherry tomato, or when they have that first strawberry or raspberry from here. They start understanding that food grown locally just tastes a lot better. It wasn't picked early and artificially ripened. And so we've appreciated restaurants like Distill. We appreciate our customers on Market Wagon, who understand that our product is just going to taste a lot better than things that were shipped over thousands of miles away.
As Sunnyside looks at expanding beyond its perennial and annual food crops to its food orchard, to fruit trees and the like, that forestry element is going to just elevate that climate effect, elevate that carbon sequestration remediation effect. It's a big picture thing. There aren't too many simple solutions in today's society, but here we have one that checks so many of the boxes. Food security, education, environmental sustainability. You're talking about the potential for job creation, for career fulfillment, and for economic development and growth.
The biggest impact that I see right now, and that I'd like to see moving forward, is our ability to create high quality paid apprenticeships for kids and teens in our neighborhood. And so for me to be able to create high quality, well-paid apprenticeships right in our neighborhood allows me to start employing kids in our neighborhood to help them teach those soft skills of show up on time, work hard, communicate well and effectively. But right here at Sunnyside, we do a very specific thing. We provide fresh fruits and vegetables for people who want it right here on the west side of Bloomington. And we also create really good, high quality apprenticeships for teens. What we need right now is we really need people to consider joining us in that endeavor, joining us financially, becoming a volunteer, and helping us really get to the next stage of our development as a nonprofit. Well, one of the things that I can think of for past donor support that's really impacted the garden is that we had a person who had contacted us who said, I have about $1,000. I want to be able to give it to a local nonprofit. We were trying to figure out how to fund our summer apprenticeship. We had 2 teens. They worked 100 hours for $1,000 each. And we said, your $1,000 can pay for one of those kids. And we know we have that money, it's in the bank. That is one way that we were able to sort of start a new endeavor. Another I think, big part when Sunnyside got started, part of the story that I have heard is that when they knew they were gonna go to a no-till system, no big heavy machinery, that's a lot of shovels and rakes and various garden tools. And they asked the community, hey, on this day at this time, you can show up with your old, used gardening tools to Sunnyside, and they got so many donations that they had to start turning people away. And so when we have put out calls for help, we've seen our community step up in big ways, and it's just continued to make a lot of strides for us.
So this garden has, over the last 6 seasons, provided over 1,000 pounds of fruits and vegetables each year to families in need. And we are also now starting to give jobs to teens in the neighborhood, which will provide economic opportunities for those kids.
This next year, we're only looking at a yearly budget of about $36,000. And so when someone says, well, I can only give $25 a month, well, for us, that's $300 a year. And $300 a year pays for one of our junior apprentices who will be here this summer. $50 a month pays for 2 junior apprentices. $100 a month pays for one of our high school apprentices that'll be here for 100 hours over the summer. If you say, I can only give $20 or $25 a month, well, that might just be $1 a day that you can donate to our garden, and it'll go a long way to helping a teen get a job. It'll go a long way to helping us put good, healthy, wholesome food on the shelves at the Home Sweet Home Co-op. It'll go a long way to helping us feed our neighbors here at Sunnyside.
Caleb, the farm manager, has just really helped move the garden into this next phase where we can look at being able to not only rely on donations, but possibly generate some small supplementary revenue streams that might help make the garden more self-sustaining in the future. For now, we need to grow the on-site resources that will make that possible.
But we just have a lot of people who also are donors. They volunteer equipment, they write us a check every month. They do a lot of different things to be able to help us out.
The garden is on the move. The garden has, we've discussed over the last few years, the changes, the improvements and additions we want to make.
Thank you so much for joining us to learn more about the mission and vision for Sunnyside Community Gardens and Food Forest. We welcome anyone who may be interested in volunteering, learning, becoming an apprentice, or in need of food to contact us for more information. To support us financially and help us continue to grow, please visit our website, sunnysidecommunitygarden.org, and click on the Donate tab. thank you to all of our volunteers, people behind the scenes, and everyone who has believed in